WWE style hype up for NA, and now, I don't know, guys, I can't help but feel like Team Liquid might take it across the line.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because I've actually switched almost in the other direction. I think that going into Bind, this would be the statement map for Liquid. If Liquid win this map,
oh yeah,
I think they're a contender in the entire tournament. That's when they've proved it to me that they are truly unstoppable, and that even in maps where they shouldn't win, even where they're massive underdogs, they can pull it through.
Let me ask you a question, Tom. Who's the best Bind team in the world right now?
In my opinion, Optic.
Exactly. This map looks like it could be where Optic take it across the line. They've got the map on their side, the crowd against them, and the scoreline for now sitting 1-0 for Team Liquid. They need to win Bind or Ascent. They've got a buffer. And as we come into this, Optic on the attack to start. Keep an eye on Ye in this map. I think he's going to be looking to take some vengeance on Team Liquid and on Yumpy in particular, who won't have the Headhunter. Of course, they've swapped around and played the Sage. We saw this in the previous time they played it here in this tournament, and they looked fantastic. That was against EDG, though.
Yeah, this is a map as well where I think Marv is going to be a lot more comfortable. I don't think the Breach really hit in the same way when you see him on those controllers. Still, though, a slow start, some deep control taken. They're going to have to use the Sky utility early, the Tiger, to try and clear some of this control. And for now, at least, Liquid is still sticking around, but they have taken a tag.
They have, but they spotted the information for it. Still, as the smokes come down, I think it's apparent where the push is coming through. Scream, the first man to fall. Information on the site. I don't know that they saw Solkas, but they'll deal with him anyways. And a great headshot from Victor. That damage should make it so easy. And indeed, the wall bangs take Demasic down. Team Liquid locked out of the site. And a fantastic start to this map for Optic.
And Rivera and Yumpy getting back in here is not going to be easy whatsoever. No utility to play with, just relying on individual skill. They don't even have any upgraded pistols. The only thing they have online is a heal, which I don't know if that's something they're going to get to use. And you can just see the afterfire position so incredibly strong from Optic. Pistol round on the board for them again. Playoff stage, and the last one in this tournament was Boom. Now, that's just an absurd record to have. I would love to see them face off against Fnatic on this map at some point to maybe have the final showdown, but
it's a missed lineup. Right off the bat, Finesse goes up on top, onto the lamp. We're able to keep the control up close, but ultimately no real impact. They weren't peaking in a position that would have netted any sort of result. Two players spotted towards lamps. It looks like Finesse wants to take the space up against pistols. Two in lamps, and they push in. That's a brave play.
I think he expected them to just stay back after the utility went through, and instead just re-aggress back into position. Now this needs to be some miracle shots coming out from Yumpy. Oh! Marv had to be very quick on the trigger. He could have lost two teammates in a split second. Instead, the rotation coming through, and actually Demasic can go down to the Molotov.
They placed a little trap for him there. He goes to run through the smoke, and said he's met with the flames. I do say where there's smoke, there's fire, but not always.
Demasic hasn't heard that one before.
Yeah, no, he might. He'll be coining that phrase from here on
out.
out.
He does love running through smokes. That's something that we've seen quite a bit in previous maps. I'm very happy we don't have Haven today because he gave me nightmares watching that map prior, but in this one at least, relatively clean. Rivera has managed to at least get himself an SMG, but Marv, I'm going to be honest, he already looks much...
Round and Optic, well, they've set themselves up fantastically coming into this bonus. The opportunity right away to seize space, grab an orb, and, well, that's a fantastic early round. Hey, you're on this round, you'll take every little advantage you can get.
Yeah. Marv not far away from that orbital strike as well, so it's definitely the right place to be putting them. They've still held on to control elsewhere. Again, these deep smokes being thrown down by Demasic. Playing quite an aggressive position for your Brimmy. He has the support, of course, of Yumpy, who's going to be able to wall off in towards Hookah if they need it. Another stack of players elsewhere on the map. You can even see still looking for information outside of A. And actually the wall, yeah, placed down now just to try and delay if they were to push in that direction.
Okay, scroll wheel finger had to be getting sore after that, but he's finally finished jump peeking. Now they take the space after the smoke is faded. And another comes down to stop them on their way through to the site. This does drag rotations from Team Liquid. You can see that Scream has made his way from the A site, but he doesn't last long. Starts to move back, just lobbing the nade, giving away that he's actually towards this part of the map. And, well, maybe thought they'd run back from it. Instead, they've gone speeding forward, spotted a player in the corner, taken D.Masick down, and Yumpy doesn't last much longer. Scream needs to go nuclear on the site, and only 2. It's not enough. Upgraded weapons, a plant, and what was that?
I think Navira just thought he had some sort of timing, hearing the footsteps and wanting to get ahead of it. Instead, now the majority of players healed back up, and Solkas, the star of the last map, he's in between a crossfire that he should never be getting out of. And in fact, Mars is just going to ego peek him completely. Takes his head off.
In their sails from the previous map. We thought maybe there'd be hope for Liquid, but they certainly haven't started this one out with a strong stride.
The thing is, though, this map was still very good for Liquid, especially with them taking home Breeze. Like, Ascent is probably their best map. Maybe Icebox, it's arguable, but to end there, they'll be very happy with it. It's more so just the same that we said about Optic in the last map. If Liquid just get boomed here, they do have some players that work very poorly if the mental goes bad.
You heard it in the interview that Team Liquid said there's no team that has that kind of team atmosphere that they do. But that can still be hard to pick yourself back up when things do start to fall apart. Somewhere Team Liquid, I think, have had minimal testing in the past. It's opening strong. Yumpy, of course, just with a pistol, as are most of his teammates. This is a risky push from Finesse. He's been going for these fights a lot. Successfully this time.
Yeah, he's going to drop both players on the lurk. Timing sublime, and already going to clear out this A site without much trouble at all. Rotation coming through from Scream, but he is being watched for. Finesse is more than aware of every position they could possibly be coming from, and Spike going to go down without any trouble whatsoever. Optic looking clean.
Yeah, and there's nothing really for Team Liquid to fight with getting back into this. They've got a blast pack, but 3 HP on Scream. A D.Masick, chance to do some damage maybe on that Spectre. I don't know where we'll end on this one. I mean, it seems the Team Liquid will want to lose their lives, almost without a doubt. Scream, though, is on the other side of the map. He is rotating all the way around. I mean, they'll assume that he's towards the spawn, maybe intending to die to the spike. Instead, he's going to try to wrap all the way up on them. This could be huge, but they have got players watching it. There's just too many Optic players alive right now.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know what the plan is here. What he's hoping to achieve from this position. He's going to have to just run all the way around and try and die to the spike, and I don't think he's going to do it in time. So yeah,
not a bad idea to catch them off guard, but the time was the issue there. A very strange start, and now, wow, right off the bat, Yumpy has lost his life. Optic giving absolutely no room to Team Liquid, no space granted. Finesse again up here on mid. He's been spotted, and this time he'll pay with his life. But look at the trade from Marv. They haven't cleared the box, and now they do. A blast pack play from Victor, and the site seems to be theirs. Scream trying to sneak his way around. I might not expect him to be here this quickly.
Oh, he's got to hope for a decent time here, and nobody missing on the side of Optic. These rounds are looking devastating. Nothing Liquid is attempting in these early stages is working out. Afterplant already guaranteed, and now D.Masick, he's got to try and pull off a 1v3.
Yeah, look what he's up against too. Victor's got his ult online, but a nade to play with as well. There's just so much time drain in play for Optic. Short of them just swinging out and giving duels, which you can see they are not looking to do, D.Masick doesn't have a chance.
You could just see the confidence. Victor decimating again.
On the Optic side, the wind is definitely in their sails now. They've got everything going their way. 5-0 start. Ulti's coming online. Victor on a tear. Oh, we've got a crazy attempt here. A push coming through the teleporters. A pinch from the bathroom as well. Using their weaker weapons, their numbers, but Marv was waiting. Orbital strike in hand. He's got a kill. They've cleaned up some, but Solkas, that could be the chance they needed. Team Liquid 5-0 down. They come in with pistols. I wasn't even going to consider this round, but they've caught Optic off guard.
I wonder, did Navira catch Yay? I think he spotted him all the way down the bottom. This fight could be everything. And I think Navira realizing this is not one that he's willing to take. Versus El Diablo, you've got to be very careful to not let this round slip away. The swing from Scream at least going to damage him up, and eventually they will close out the Thrifty round. Something at least for Liquid, but he's the coach of Team Liquid, pretty important job.
Yeah,
and then the crowd hype man. is what his secondary employment. And honestly, if he keeps up like this, he might actually have to switch and have that as his primary job.
Could be his new main gig. Who knows? We'll see what we can do. He wants to play across the stage from his brother first.
These openings from Ye. It's happened in most rounds, whether or not Liquid push, he's just so solid at finding these initial frags. They're all going to go down. No reservation available for Yumpy, so it's not even like he can rotate back in. And Finesse is looking to almost battle and brawl at this stage. He's been forced back.
Yeah, it was going to take a couple low-risk battles there. Just a few bullets and then fading away. Look at the pressure. It's on its way into that Viper's pit. It's looking for a victim, and it didn't find it. It looked like he was dead to rights, but barely any damage done, and Scream shuts Victor down. Now we're in a bit of trouble. The sprays, the snake bites, doing damage, but not taking Crashies out. The decay now starts to fade away, and his health recovers. Optic, they've walked into a pretty tough position, but they've come out now with the advantage time on their side. And a Viper's pit is now countered completely.
Well, yeah, in fact, it's just going to be dropped. It would have almost played as a favorable piece of utility for the other side if he'd kept it up. This rotation is being watched as well. The timing is going to be the only issue. Ye has looked away, and now you start to see the pounce of Yumpy. Scream has found another as well. Finesse has been able to trade it, but now it's all up to him, and the Vera will close. Back-to-back rounds for Liquid, starting to finally see them turn up into this map. But Mitch, they have not even made a dent.
Has been having a fantastic game. I think he was 6-0 at one point. Tapered off in the rounds they've lost, but now rifles back in their hands, as we were saying. A comfortable round for Optic, 5-2. They've been spotted outside a bathroom. The utility will be traded out to just claim that control back, which altogether, decent trade for Team Liquid. They'll be happy to remove that.
The thing is, though, it does get Seekers online. So that's going to be the ult to just try and clear out some of these corners, reduce the risk of walking into a stack, and it's getting ready to be popped again. One of these executions out of the shower doors has been so tough for them to play against, but the nade actually drops Victor. A decent start.
Stuck in the fight, couldn't get back. The rest of the team, though, now emerging from bathrooms as Ye sneaks his way in. They've got some good control. They might even be able to plant safely from here. They want a little more. And it's Ye following the volley right in. That's perfect. A great bait to push them out of position. The crowd control now coming back as Ye is forced into his teammate's Molotov. It giveth and it taketh away, but in the end, Optic, they're in a 3v3 with a Viper's pit post plant and Marved undetected on middle.
That's the thing. This fight with Marved is going to be the ending factor, and he's already managed to take down Demasic. A nasty surprise of him still lurking around this corner, and they need to clear him out before they can get anywhere near that Viper's pit. He just did a fair amount of damage onto the Vera, and now the aggression from Crashies, but Soulcast is more than ready for it, turning things into an advantageous position for Liquid.
Just slid the clip back in. That was so unfortunate. The sprays for Soulcast deliver another with Marv down, and the defuse is underway. Finesse! He thought they'd fake it. They tried to bait him through.
It was slightly to the left of him where that defuse comes through. A 5-0, but 3 in a row now for Liquid. Starting to really build back into this first half.
I hope the boys have a meal turned down on whatever communication app they're using, or their eardrums might have just been burst.
They might have that problem anyway, I'll be honest. He's not that far away.
Yeah, he's still a little too close. Ooh. Scream with a double! The first is something, but Marv going down, smokes removed, and Optic on the back foot again. This is the start of the round, and well, it feels close to the end as well.
But that's the thing, a lot of success was coming for Optic in those early rounds. Think about the amount of times that Ye was getting them the opening draw every time somebody aggressed. Now, well, it's starting to feel a little bit more like the first map, with those opening fights always going in the other direction. Ye, though, has been sublime, but this is just Scream's round. He has taken over completely. 3 kills already, and you know what? I'd run away from him too.
Trailblazer to lead the way and hopefully find something. No information on the back of it, at least the space for Finesse to push up, but this is accounted for on the defensive side. He needs some great timing, and he's got it. Whoa, but he's caught with a snake bite in hand. His life spared for now. The plant to try to bait them forward, but nobody will make a move. Screams on the flank. The rest of the team wants to hold the spawn, and Finesse trying to push through and catch them off. Has caught himself with the plant down. Crashies needs another phenomenal clutch. The odds definitely stacked up against him.
Oh, that's unlucky.
The tension building for him, his teammates nowhere to be found, and enemies absolutely everywhere. A fourth for Team Liquid. And Optic, they started this out so well, Tom.
Yeah. Has just gone up another gear from the first few rounds. Tour de force in for Yay. Now this is where you really don't want to be taking too many aggressive peaks if you're on that Liquid side, although a lot of them are set up towards bathrooms and then the wall on this side. The flash up, it's actually She's going over. That's a spike! That's a spike!
That's the smartest play I've ever seen. They had a second man to take contact, to take sprays on them. The wall up and the cover allows them to take them down. The spike on the floor, isolating one player completely. Optic have been baited into a trap, and now, what's the response? Well, they've smoked it out. They've taken the control back, or at least they slowly will, and elsewhere Ye was trying to find some space. Optic are on the back foot, but at least the spike is now recovered. Yeah. They still have no openings to get in here. They're going to be running in blind, if anything, and at this point, I think 45 seconds left, they commit to B, and here come the Seekers to confirm that.
Yeah, just straight away, look at the rotation from Scream. He's looking to try and join up with the teammates, and Optic know that means they have to go.
Molly still keeping them out. They can't get through long, or they can actually. It bounced off, but well, then the gun comes through on Demasic. Trades are good, but not good enough as the reinforcements arrive.
It's just not the start you're looking for, and that shakes up the entire round. You lose your flashes to start. Yay over the last few has been a little bit quiet. Look at the confidence the Demasic is facing with, and you know what? You deserve that.
Maybe. Demasic down, Smoker gone, but presence on the A side as Optic look to push forward, forcing Solkas out with the nade. He might be about to be peeked from sight, but look who else is sneaking around, pushing up on Lamps. Nevera doesn't want to swing wide, just want to risk it on mid. They're just now spotting Finesse. Good look on the way out, the orb up, and he'll make it into the TP. There's no way that he hunts him down, the snake bite through, but he's caught by Victor in the meantime. Great baits from Optic. They're finally finding their stride here. The Team Liquid are left in a 2 versus 5. And of course, Tom, again, it's the weaker buy that gives them this advantage, the chaos that spawns from it. They had a flash. A flash went over on B, right?
Yeah.
Optic then think, okay, they're B, let's go A. But the rotations have come through.
It's not a bad read. Scream has managed to drop one. The peek out from Solkas finds another. They've also managed to deny the plant with the nade, and he also has his showstopper online. The spike has started running in the other direction. They will make their way onto the other side of the map, and again, Victor just being able to hold from behind. It put Scream alone, trying to fight this one back. The timing's not bad through the snake bite. He's just frying within it, but he has turned it into a 1v2, Mitch.
There's no way he uses a showstopper here, not with 56 HP, but if he can find a kill, then it could come through, and it was close. The bullets whizzed by Finesse's head.
And that was a couple of weak weapons. That was a Stinger, that was a Headhunter. So they have given Optic their SIG. Yumpy, though, we haven't seen much of this operator, and this time, yeah, you know what, though? I think we should put the ball down a little earlier. There we go.
Yeah, it's a good idea. But it has been broken wide open. Still, that opening duel, all they needed. Victor, the space taker for the team, the Neon on the previous map, and now your Raze blast packing in to take the crosshairs off the angles. Well, now he's being dealt with immediately. Scream still has a showstopper in his back pocket. They're close to having a res on Yumpy, just one more op shot needed, and I think Optic are going to be all too aware of that.
Patient stuff. Passive hold coming through from Liquid on the edge of the lamps as well.
I think Finesse is about to have the worst day ever. Op was spotted B long, and now it's rotated to A as he tries to come out and put his ult down, but luckily that shot didn't land. That could have ended Optic's chances in this half of going out with a lead, but now they're in a 4v5, but with Pit down and Plant, this could still be their round.
And the thing is, with the afterplant potential of Marv, this is going to become devastating. Liquid need to move very fast. Look how far back he's playing, just making sure that he can't be caught and can use that orbital strike whenever he needs it. We'll also have the Molotov to rotate him through. There's so much time that can be bought on the other side, and Crashies is going to drop the ult of Scream. This is looking less likely as the seconds go by, and every single duel going the way of El Diablo once again. Demasic, Nevera, desperation on the cards as there is nothing to be found. One extra kill, but as said, they are ready for these afterplant positions, forcing him back into the corner. The time is already gone, and although there was a fantastic resurgence from Liquid, the half will go to Optic.
the lead as they close this out.
So they were in a much stronger position and against a weaker team than Optic at least. So I think this is going to be a tough one and definitely in need of a pistol, which they've not been the best at throughout this tournament. They got 1 in this series and I think only about 3 in the tournament.
Yeah, so odds are not going to be doubling up this time around, but we'll see. The attack has Team Liquid look to the A site. Victor is waiting here, Marved right behind him, and even some utility from Finesse that can come in to help. The Snakebite still up and online. A strong presence from Optic in this middle part of the map, and Team Liquid, they've sensed it. They've slowed it down with a minute left on the clock. And the key thing here being they don't have the information for anyone pushing behind, right? Normally you're comfortable they're not behind you, but they have to almost gamble on the timing this time around. And when they put that second bout of utility up, then utility comes back their way to slow them down.
Very patient stuff from Liquid. They're going to try and make a move once the toxins have gone down, and it's an entry for Soulcast. The pop flash giving them so much space, and the wall will garner them a plant. They've also caught Ye on the rotation. An incredible start from them in this second half. Can they convert?
Dimasic just had himself lurking for the teleport. Not a common position to be holding in a pistol, but one that has given them a massive advantage here. 5 versus 3. Finesse down, Crashies, the clutch player for Optic on the previous map. Himself and Marv have been playing well, but not this well. That's a little too much to ask. 3 more kills, an ace clutch for Crashies, and time against him. The spike ticking away. He's got to run into a triple crossfire. He isolates 1 at least, but in the oh! Crashies! That 4th kill, unbelievable, but the clock is against him, and Soulcast will drop it. 6 on the board for Team Liquid.
You get the amount, or basically just how passive you can be. A lot of value, well, we talk about this man a lot. There's a very good reason for that. That's going to be the rifle actually dropped to the deck. This is quite a heavy investment coming through. I think that might be another one on the floor. This is starting to get very, very shaky for Liquid. The fact that they've just lost 1 to El Diablo and 1 to Classics.
2 Classics on a swing out bathroom, long range duel. This is an abysmal start, and for the heavy investment Team Liquid put in there, so many rifles to work with. And I think they've even pinged. There is still a rifle on the body of Dimasic. And actually, yes, he's going to go and get it. Navarra's rotating around, so he'll grab an upgrade. They'll still have their 3 rifles to play with, but they can't lose any. I mean, they've already lost too many. They can't lose anyone else from this point. And look what they're up against.
This is not like the buy we see from FPX, where they haven't invested into other weaponry. They have invested into other weaponry, and well, not the best dodge of a flash I've ever seen. I think maybe expecting contact from his teammate and instead just getting shot in the face. Yumpy though low, a Classic claiming another victim, and there's a player close, and they're running out of time. 25 seconds left for them to try and make a move. They're almost relying on Navarra to get something here, hoping there's someone giving him a free kill within this smoke, but they're in a crossfire. Soulcast tagged within inches of his life as well, and they have no time left on the clock. It's going to be Crashies to close it. A huge thrifty
kill, but Bathroom losing the 2 Classics, that is the thorn in the side that I think ultimately drew blood.
Well, their conversion this tournament has actually been fantastic when they did win the pistol. Unfortunately, they're now in one of the worst situations they could be in. They've handed rifles over to their opponents. They've only got pistols to play with. Ults are going to start to build up for Optic as well, and they're going onto their stronger defensive side. Not feeling particularly good now for Liquid on this map. But they have had heroes. That's been what has been a huge part of this map so far. Well, Soulcast proving just that, already managing to drop 1, although I will say, Mitch, the gun is not going to be in the greatest spot to retrieve. Yeah,
I mean, Dimasic was pretty close to grabbing it, but he decided to go through the TP instead, move over towards his teammates, and look for this push to site. Weaponry disadvantages stacked. The Seekers gain the information. Optic should be looking for a rotation, but the reality is that TP could come in any moment now. They keep on their 2-2 setup. You got to be careful of Soulcast. He's already claimed a victim with the Marshal in hand. He's going to be looking for more. That wall up, though, this was the problem last time. They've already avoided the nade, but so much more that can come their way.
And they're running out of time. 20 seconds left, and you can see there's already the crossfire in play. flash out. They are going to be able to isolate Finesse, but they actually trade relatively well. A plant looking fairly likely. Again, though, they still haven't retrieved any guns.
Yeah, so even with the plant down, now holding on is going to be so much more difficult. Victor's coming behind. He has a nade still to play with, and Solkas, last man alive, 60 health. He's about to be blitzed out as well by Victor. I imagine a blast pack peek, no, just a dry peek, but it should be enough. Okay. Gets there in the end.
Yeah.
And look, you couldn't really defend that spot with a Marshall from long anyways. The reality is they did some damage, but with the context of how this half has begun, Optic are
flip away from them completely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we need to see something for them early. That was close.
Oh, he's screwed.
He's down to 10 health. One bullet from Solkas, a straight shot, and he's gone. And there you go. Finally to be dropped. Finesse doesn't want anything to do with it. They'll accept it as an early disadvantage. This makes it so much more difficult, Tom, with Finesse all by his lonesome on B. The thing is, they still have that trap inside of Hookah. And until that gets destroyed,
yeah,
they're going to keep a much heavier presence around here, though. That orb stops any sort of off-peak early.
See, this is going to give them a bit of information of these positions. Victor, though, I think he just spammed straight through. Screamer's been able to trade him back. Molotov at least going to slow down the plant and potentially give a chance to El Diablo, but he's not going to get anything. Ye goes down, but Marved on the swing. It's now left on to Finesse. 1v2, he knows one's planting, going to try and isolate the other. He's spotted. Team is sick, the first is free! Can't get the transfer! Solkas just about.
Long road ahead of them.
Again. Slow build up into this round. Losing Crashies early in the last was not something you really want on that Optic side, just off the basis of his agent. So much information can be garnered, and he's already spotted the majority of the Liquid team. Look at the aggression as well on the other side. Much just leaving Ye in an aggro position, and then if he teleports back, you also have the switch to the bait, which is Victor in that corner with a stinger.
This really is just something that Optic are so fond of. Normally it would be Finesse that's in those spots. Of course, on this map, it makes a lot more sense when the positions to have Victor be the man with the stinger in the corner. Still, that stinger won't get an opportunity by the looks of things. It is going to be a full B play, but they're ready on the side of Optic. All these ultimates coming their way, though, surely going to cause some problems. A molly kill as Dima goes down, and a few of these players are low. The frag out from Navera buys them time, but they need to follow up, and Marv is denying it all. Ye in the smoke, and he's aware that they could be coming behind him. Both players on the other side, and they find the kill as it fades. Still, they have to fight back out. The spike is not theirs. The nade, they haven't seen it coming. It'll do damage, but not enough to grab a kill. 1 HP on Solkas. He'll scream back up. They need to deal with Victor. 12 seconds or so to get in there, grab the spike. They need the kill. They've got to drop this man. He's still alive. 6 seconds. Solkas needs to run, and he'll find nothing. A clutch for Victor keeps Optic alive. And
someone else, and you have a pretty strong buy going into round number 19.
That's going to be the Viper's Pit used up on B long. Containing the control. Not the common spot to see that one going down. The two-man B hold a trap inside of Hookah. It's a very powerful position to play from. They can stack up A, have these crossfires ready. I don't like that the shorty's out. He's ready for someone to come blitzing in. I respect that. But no one's making a move on Team Liquid. A minute left on the clock, and they are spread in a default, just looking for the control.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, you look at the map control that's claimed even just by the trap, you don't really need to be taking too many risks here. Yay, it's a nasty spot, and well, that's all he really needed. 1 kill off the back of the shorty. Tour de Force will be online for the next round as well when he needs it, but, well, he's racking up the kills anyway. They're going to have to heal up onto Scream to at least give a little bit more in terms of that rifle, but with 30 seconds left, eventually they're going to have to just blitz in.
Yeah, Navera going down. You don't have that Viper's Pit to fall back on anymore. Doubt they're going to be popping a res unless they flawlessly win these duels. That's a good start for Yumpy, but Optic have so many more players here. Now the hero rifle steps it up, and Ye is gone. The res could come through with another. This round It was looking clean for Optic, but Team Liquid have somehow stormed their way back in. That's not the right weapon for that range, and he hasn't got the right pistol. He's had to go to a Marshall, and now down goes that Viper's Pit after the res. This is unbelievable for Liquid. They take hit after hit, and they look like they're out, but this team, they can always fight back into it. I am perplexed by what we have just witnessed here. 8 rounds for Team Liquid. Optic, they were knocking on the door of victory, but now the game is really on. What does this do to their economy as well, man? Look at this, nothing there for them.
No, that's the thing. This was meant to be the economy.
Have happened. They have something to work with here at least, with even more ultimates online than when we started the previous. The chances really relying on someone like Ye finding this opening duel. They've heard the tour de force though, and just look across the map. Everybody is tucked into corners waiting. You know that with this weapon being the pinnacle of the round, he will go looking for victims. He will go looking for kills. Whether he finds them or not is yet to be seen. He'll get one for free. The timing could not be better. And no response from Team Liquid there. That's a duel for Optic, and they are happy to concede the control now.
They even try and throw in some util to slow him down on the way back out, but the fact is instead they're pushing into the rifle. Finesse needs to get something here. He's just been domed. The B site somewhat open for business, but the fact is the rotation's coming from Ye. And again, he's so good in these scenarios, they have to back away. The thing is, we've seen a showstopper expended, and look at this position, up close from Crashies. That's exactly where you want the frenzy.
He's even thinking about going in the smoke. The timing is so good. Another kill for Optic. Anything you can do, we can do better. Optic are on 11. A thrift.
Every single gun. Now, well, look at it. This is full investment from most of the players.
Yep. Putting it all on the line, and with the success they've had before, you can understand why, but a lot relied on Ultimate's quick play up through middle. Ye doesn't know whether he'll find a victim, and finally he does. The advantage is theirs. The spike is dropped. The rotations can start to come through, and that they will. Look at this flank, as quick as you like. Marv able to pick one. Victor steaming forward with him, and the blast pack to push the players back. Lamps to be cleared out completely, and they are just trying to push these guys into ranged fights where they can succeed time and time again. Solkas, the last man, versus 4. And I think we're looking at Optic on 12. They've lost a few clutches, but
no,
it's a bit too much.
I refuse to even give that one the time of day. Like, if he pulls this off, then I think we just give him the map. Like, not even play the last few rounds.
Yeah,
we just go,
fair.
you know what, Soulcast, 1v4, that takes it. But yeah, I think he's going to get the plant, but that will really be all she wrote. And honestly, a plant's not bad. Like, that's how bad the credit situation is right now for Liquid, that a plant actually might help them out a little bit, because their finances are screwed for the next round. Any kills he can get would be nice, but realistically, he's already got his ult. Nice shot on the first, but eventually the trade comes through for Marv. As said, he has had a real resurgence in this map, comparatively to what we saw on the last, which is, it sets this series up wonderfully, but Optic, have to bear in mind, it's never done.
I think they really would be mentally boomed then.
Oh, they're not mentally boomed at all. Look at them. They're pushing all the way down. An aggressive finish to the game, it seems, as Victor is already going to drop down to a wonderful start and a surprise for Liquid. Not a particularly good one at that. Yeah, he's waiting patiently as well. He's even going to get the information off the back of his trap, and quick enough to close down another 2v5.
Almost served as a bait, but he's just that little bit too quick, pulling off the kill.
Okay.
Good shot for Navera, but look how much more is against him.
He has retrieved an operator from that, though.
2v4, grab a kill with the op, maybe. They have to deal with this flank as well of Marv coming up behind, currently watching for it, and the kill is found. Marv on a tear this game. He's looked great, and with 16
No
HP,
chance.
I think we can call it here and now. The defuse is underway, and Navera has no chance of denying it. He's got to sprint at them, and it's already done. 13-8. Optic's map choice, a map that they're one of the best in the world at, predictably goes their way, and we will be closing this on a well-deserved map 3.
Yeah, I think it's exactly where we wanted to end up, an Ascent map where both teams are likely to feel pretty comfortable to close it out. A different idea in terms of their compositions, which will definitely make it a fun finish, but I don't think anybody's particularly surprised that Bind has gone in the direction of Optic. They are sublime when it comes to this map, and honestly, I'm glad we're getting the series I think this deserved. The fact that we see Marv come back into this, Crashy continues his run of form, Ye starts to be, well, that player that everybody fears. He ended that game with 8 first bloods. Like, that is just filth, just decimating everybody in the early round scenarios. And even though there were some blips, even though there were some mistakes, they came back into it almost instantly.
They absolutely did. For Optic, there were some good clutches in here as well to really get them pumped up coming into the next, and Team Liquid got a taste of what that previous map must have felt like if you were North American. We couldn't ask for a better conclusion.